Lost Art with Andrew Cox, retired Master Gunnery Sergeant. thelostart.podbean.com. Get some merchandise and help support the podcast in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Now on all major podcast platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be a guest, tell your veteran story, discuss your veteran business or organization. Email The Lost Art with Andrew Cox at gmail.com. Andrew Cox, a Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. See the project story at tillvalhallaproject.com. Thanks for tuning in. Please enjoy the podcast that's giving a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox.
Today's episode is brought to you by TrumpShirt.com. TrumpShirt.com is a veteran-owned business where 100% of the proceeds goes to disabled veterans and veteran organizations. Support your veterans by purchasing a shirt at TrumpShirt.com. Use the promo code TLA and get free shipping. That's TrumpShirt.com, promo code TLA.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we'll be having a fireside chat with the crew. But before we get into it, if you're enjoying the episodes, go to the Lost Art website. Check out the website. See what all we got going on there. There's a merchandise tab. You can click on that. Go get you some cool merchandise and help support us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. I also want to give a shout out to the Till Valhalla Project for allowing me to be an ambassador for their great organization. They are doing some incredible things, so be sure to go to their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Go check it out. See if there's anything you can do to help them out. All right, I have the crew here, and we'll go ahead and start out and go round robin. We'll start with Mark today. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing outstanding. Hello to everyone. Beautiful weather here in San Diego. But as always, wasn't for the politics, prices, taxes, communism at its finest here, this would be a garden of paradise.
That is true. It is beautiful there. So, well, can't win them all, I suppose. All right, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm sitting here trying to hit mute on my unmute on my computer, but I'm using my phone as the source of video and sound here. Maybe I'll get it together. But anyway, all that be said, another week down. Yeah, I guess this next, if I'm doing my math right. No, 2 more weeks. Sorry. I forgot we got Labor Day coming up this next weekend, and then 4 days after that of work before I'll take a week off and start my new job. I think I've said it before. If not, I'm really excited to be going back to work with Marines again, and look forward to it. But other than that, all is well here. And yeah, another day, another dollar.
Very nice. So we got 2 of us on the show that got new jobs. That's good. It's good. Yeah. All right, Vic, how you doing?
Life is good. Had a good weekend. Made some man glitter in the wood shop this weekend. So sawdust.
He said man glitter.
Yeah. So it was a relaxing time. Not a whole lot of riding, but we'll get some this weekend. It's supposed to be some nice weather. Today's cigar is a Tatuaje Capa Espacial. This is a Nicaraguan cigar. Nice medium body. This is a Toro. It's a little bit longer than a Robusto. And the website says it's rich, but medium bodied. So I'll let you know how it goes. Not the first one I smoked, but the first one that I've smoked on here.
Okay. Very nice. I like it. All right, Krista, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Obviously, I'm technologically challenged when it comes to speakers.
It's all good. You're here now.
Yeah, I've arrived. No, we had a little rainstorm earlier. The awning went down. We thought we were going to have to put it in a dumpster and drive off, but we didn't.
Wow.
He was able to go out.
I'm glad you were able to salvage your awning. That's good. That's good, man.
And screw it back up. When it gets heavy. on one end, but
Yeah.
no, we're
Yeah.
okay here. We're hanging.
That's good.
I think that was
Yeah.
kind of a subtle shot.
That was it was good. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but that was good.
I worked it in
I
quick
got-
and easy, bam.
Yeah. You got it out right in the open right away. It was good. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. Good into the rest of the week. Somehow I dodged COVID. My wife had it. I tested every day, and my boss was like, "Did you test? Did you need to make sure you test?" I'm like, "Terry, just leave me alone." But still never tested positive. Had a headache from hell, but I mean, it's gone. So
Yeah.
got my hedges and all that trimmed today. Got lit up by
Ooh.
about 6 wasps on my hand while I was doing it.
Nice.
So yeah, I've got ivy bushes in the front. They're pokey and they'll stick you, so you got to put gloves on when you're cleaning them up. And I've got tea olives on the side of the garage, and I was lopping them off to get them pruned down, and stuck my hand in there pulling stuff out and falling in it. And I was like, "Damn, that hurt." And I was like, "Man, these things aren't usually like that." I was like, "Damn." Pulled it out, and there was 4 wasps on my hand still, and I see the nest in there, so I shook my hand off, and then they're like, sing, 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 like that. And I was like, okay. Got down off the ladder, walked in the garage, got the industrial strength wasp spray, and foamed it down, and said, "Die, you mother effers." And
Yeah.
I never have any reaction to stuff like that, but I was like, the older I get, stupid shit happens. I'm like, let me walk my tail in the house and take a Benadryl just in case, because next thing you know, I'll be laying out in the front yard going, I can't breathe.
Yep, that sounds right. Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's good. Dehydrated
Okay.
now, so I got to rehydrate. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You gotta push it down. Push it down. What are you drinking there?
me,
Yeah.
it's bourbon and Coke.
Oh, okay. What is it? Is everybody else drinking? No? Yeah. I saw Vic cheers. All right, Krista's cheers. And what are y'all drinking?
This is a local whiskey called the Bluffton Whiskey. It's made from the Burke Church Distillery here in Bluffton. But a little bit of Bluffton whiskey and Coke.
Nice. Krista?
It's chocolate Bailey's Irish cream.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like it. All right. Aaron just got off. I don't know. He's going to get his Bud Light or something. I don't know what he's doing.
No. Not drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, it's Wilk beer.
If I needed to rehydrate, I might, but
Yeah, he's more of a Natty Light or maybe a Schlitz.
I had a fella gave me, I think it was natural light, I believe. Not last weekend. Whenever I went to see my buddy, we stopped by and seen it. Well, actually, the guy I bought the shotgun from went by his house and had a couple of drinks with him. I think I'll choose natural light over Bud Light any day.
Yeah.
Maybe a little PBR.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So you were drinking beer at the gun range. What kind of? That's my kind of range right there.
After.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, yeah.
Oh,
at that point, there would be shenanigans going on there. Like,
lots of shenanigans.
That was to happen, yeah.
Throw that can out there, see if I can hit it while you're holding it.
It wouldn't be so much
on your head.
I trust myself. It's others I do not trust.
Yes, exactly.
It's a good point. I'm drinking moonshine, so it's good.
It's gonna be a good night with Andrew. That's for sure.
I'm doing fine. I don't know about all y'all. But, oh man! All right, let's go to veteran news with Mark.
Was looking at a post from a friend of mine, a retired sergeant major. Spent a lot of time in combat during his 32 years in the Marine Corps, and he finally went. He's been retired about 10 years now, and he got involved somehow. Learned about organization called Defenders of Freedom. It's a 501c3, started in Texas in 2004. So, I have the feeling it was started for some of the same reasons as a lot of these other organizations. This was a mother who started, they started doing the care packages,
Oh, right.
and because her son was in the Army, and it just, it all then all the his, she found out about all the veterans coming back, or the active duty military coming back with injuries and everything like that. So, especially the injury of this war, these latest wars, is the traumatic brain injury. That's the major one. So that kind of expounded into that, and it's a 501c3, fully funded, access to comprehensive TBI treatment programs. There's personalized options for post-traumatic stress. They'll do short-term, immediate physical, mental, and financial assistance to the veteran. That if once again, because of the TBIs, post-traumatic stress, you add them together, a lot of times causes a lot of issues about veterans staying occupied, staying in jobs, substance abuse, all that good stuff. So their focus is on the TBI. They have chapters in Florida, Kansas, Missouri, and Pennsylvania.
Wow.
They're really getting into the signature of the traumatic brain injury, and so much more in-depth ways to address it, and actually to identify it. I'm not sure if any of you went into the VA for a traumatic brain injury test. They ask you some questions. They give you this thing to read. They have you hold your arms out, and they press down on them because I guess apparently there's some nerve that if you're holding your arms all the way out, they can press on them in a certain way, and if you can't resist to it, you might have some type of traumatic brain injury. But like my friend told me, he went in for that test. They did that test, and he was cleared through the VA. And I'm not harping on the VA as not being good, but that was really the extent of the TBI not treatment, but examination. So this organization, this Defenders of Freedom, they'll find the funding, or they'll provide the funding for you to go to this traumatic brain injury resilience health area or organization. They have them all over, but that helps with concussions, traumatic brain injuries.
Right.
I'm gonna, hopefully I won't butcher this one, dysautonomia, which is a dysfunction of the automatic nervous system that affects heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and other bodily functions. Another one is balance disorders, cognitive decline, chronic pain, headaches and migraines, and other type of movement disorders, because they're discovering that yes, you'll go in for the examination, you'll get cleared, or you might have, they'll say, okay, you have a minor traumatic brain injury, it should heal, or here's some medication for it.
Right.
But as longer it goes, like I just went over those lists of symptoms, the headaches, the migraine, the chronic pain, the different aspects of how you're feeling, the feelings that you just can't shake, trigger points, things like that. So this resilience health program, it's like a 2-week program. You check in, and they do all these sorts of diagnostic examinations, and then they have state-of-the-art ways to treat it with magnetic pulses and oxygen therapies, hyperbaric chambers, things like that. So it's very it's been getting some great successes out there. So if the viewers out there, if you think you need it, or you think someone else needs it, www.defendersoffreedom.com or .org, and go for it. It's look into it. There's a place you can sign up for assistance, and they'll start talking to you and figuring out what they can do for you.
Very nice.
So
You know,
it's another organization that's out there to help the post 9/11 veteran.
Absolutely. I just interviewed a guy by the name of Billy Meeks. He's an Army veteran, a young guy, real young. He did, I think he did 4 years, got out type of thing. He actually ended up medically retiring. He had traumatic brain injury, and he mentioned that organization as well. The Defenders of Freedom is one of the organizations that he mentioned. And he was having the same types of issues at the VA. They were only testing certain things, whereas when he went in with this other group, it was more extensive, and they found more stuff. Yeah, he's
Right.
He's gotten all kinds of help. He's a big social media guy. You can look him up on the different social media things. He does all kinds of crazy content and stuff. Millions of followers, well, maybe not millions, lots of followers, way more than we have. But yeah, but he's doing pretty good. He's making videos, and right now he's concentrating all of his content on veterans and the suicide rates, and then also traumatic brain injury, all those types of things. In fact, he told me, and I need to get with him and get his source and where he found this, but he was saying that the veteran suicide rate went from 22 a day up to like 30 something, 33, something like that. And I don't know where he found that stat. I'll have to get with him at some point in time and figure that out. But that was crazy when I heard that. But yeah, that's Defenders of Freedom. Yeah, that's a great organization then.
And I do stand corrected. It's defendersoffreedom.us, not org. Defendersoffreedom.us.
Got it. That's good. All right, I like it. Anything else, Mark?
Not today.
Very well. Let's go to military news with it.
Howdy. A couple things. First of all, the USS Lincoln Carrier Strike Group has arrived in CENTCOM AOR. The Pentagon did not say where because troop movements are top secret, but somewhere in the AOR. I was looking where they might possibly be. In CENTCOM's AOR, you have the Mediterranean Sea, you have the Red Sea, and you have the Persian Gulf. I think logically they'd probably be in the Mediterranean Sea, but they could be in the Persian Gulf because it says in the article that their deterrence is for Iraq. But they also said at the end of the article that let's see. They touched on, press secretary also said in conversation about the Ukrainian officials and their strategy to counter Russia's attack. So multi-purpose kind of posturing there. So they're probably in the Mediterranean Sea if I were to wager a guess. Let's see. Next up is and kind of talking about the what Mark was talking about as far as health benefits go. Federal agency pulls back a $583 million military one-source contract. Wow. Yeah, military one-source contracts some like basically subcontracts out some of their health benefits, counseling, and some other things. But the GSA, the General Services Administration, GSA pulled back the contract to review because one of the awardees, not too long before, after they applied for the contract, somebody else bought them out. So yeah, it's they don't expect benefits or anything services to be disrupted, but it could happen depending on how long the dispute takes. But it's a pretty large contract, $583 million. But GSA has pulled it back for review because the one company bought out the winner of the contract, or another company bought out a winner of the contract. But again, should not affect services. Let's see. Kind of I don't want to step on Mike's toes, but kind of a good news story. The USO has been working on a canine, basically a service dog program.
Nice.
USO Missouri and the USO in Missouri started its Comfort Dog program as a pilot program in 2013, made it official in 2015. Since then, the branch's dogs and their handlers, who are certified volunteers, have worked to expand the program. So the way it was set up, and then USO set up its own program, which officially launched the USO K9 program in 2023.
That's really cool.
Let's see. Basically, where'd it go? Of more than the 250 centers worldwide, USO centers worldwide, 42 of them now have US K9 programs.
Wow,
which is kind of cool. So those dogs really help a lot of people. So that's kind of nice. And then,
is that when you're talking about that K9 program? Are you saying that is like the organization that owns the dogs and they're using
correct.
it? Okay, so it's not
so
they're getting dogs
USO
for somebody.
Dog, yeah,
got it.
Yep, and they take them to veterans hospitals and other organizations or other places to provide services. They're not giving out dogs.
That's really cool.
And I think that's all I got. Yep, that's it.
All right, awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it, Vic. All right, let's go to current news with Aaron.
All right. In current news, so the astronauts that are stranded in space, NASA has decided to leave them in space via using a troubled Boeing capsule. So they will remain in space until February of 2025. Basically, they don't trust the rather than risk using the Boeing Starliner capsule that deliver them to the International Space Station. A guy named Richard, I'll mispronounce his name, Abulafia. He's an aerospace analyst. He said the whole thing is another black eye for Boeing. It's going to sting a little longer, but nothing they haven't dealt with before. That being said, Boeing has lost more than $25 billion since 2018 as its aircraft manufacturing business cratered after those crashes. For a time, the defense and space side of the company provided a partial cushion, posting strong profits and steady revenue through 2021. Since 2022, however, Boeing's defense and space division has stumbled to losing $6 billion between space and defense, so slightly more than the airplane side of the company in the same period. Let's see. The company recorded a $1 billion loss from fixed price government contracts in the second quarter alone, but the problem is not new. Let's see. The CEO, David Calhoun, said last year, we have a couple of fixed price development programs we have to just finish and never do them again. Boy, imagine being a CEO wanting to get some programs done and just never touch them again. Because it hasn't gone well for them. In 2014, NASA awarded Boeing a $4.2 billion fixed price contract to build a vehicle to carry astronauts to the International Space Station after the retirement of the space shuttles, along with a $2.6 billion contract to SpaceX. Boeing, with more than a century of building airplanes and decades as a NASA contractor, was seen as the favorite. but Starliner suffered technical setbacks that caused it to cancel some test launches, fall behind schedule, and go over budget. SpaceX won the race to ferry astronauts to the ISS, which it accomplished in 2020. So
You can take them there, but not get them back.
Right. Look for SpaceX to probably get more involved. I didn't really look up anything on that, but I figured they'll probably turn to SpaceX to get more involved on that.
That's got to sting though. As much as everybody in the, I guess the government realm don't necessarily like Elon Musk, having to go to them and say, "Hey, can you bail us out here?" That probably hurts.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That's probably a lot of the hesitation to just go straight with them,
Mm-hmm.
which is sad, but
I think their suits were not compatible with the SpaceX rocket. They already looked at that avenue from what Ron and I were talking about it last night.
Okay.
They did look at that, but their suits weren't compatible. It was an issue with that. And we know, I call it the Blue Wanker. The Blue Wanker rocket is what I call it. The Amazon. His won't go. His is, that rocket won't work. But yeah. So.
Amazon's still running that program? I know it. I hadn't heard about it in a couple of years.
Probably just to take people up that were willing to pay them a couple $1 million a piece to do it. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
They're just using it for the new Austin Powers movie. It's like,
is
that Johnson?
It may never return again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's go see the Titanic. It may never return again.
I did see something on the face pages that it was on face pages, so it's for real, okay?
Yeah.
Those astronauts that are stranded, that's tough to be stranded underwater like that. And I'm glad that they're gonna, get somebody to go underwater and get them. Throw that out there for all the flat earthers in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
We all know it was Barack Obama who ended the U.S. NASA space program as it was known before he came into office, when the U.S. was the preeminent space explorer.
Yep. Another tragic or another tragedy by one of America's greatest presidents.
Yeah.
You seen the air quotes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to make sure you get them in there, man. You got to look at the camera and
yeah.
All right. Well, I wish so. How long were those astronauts supposed to be up there? Because it was supposed to be a short mission, right? I think it was like a couple of months or something. Do you imagine, like, hey, you're going to go up there for a couple of months and you arrive and they're like, yeah, no, you're going to stay. Yeah. You're going to stay till we can come get you. Good luck with that.
They were supposed to stay for as few as 8 days.
What?
So a minimum of 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they screwed that one up.
Yeah.
I wonder who was responsible for giving them the, hey, we're lucky we got you there alive, but now you need to stay there.
Yeah.
Who gave them that speech, Hey, man, you guys barely made it, so just hold tight for a while.
Yeah.
Figure out how to get you back.
Yeah.
Just hold tight.
As a matter of fact, there's a BBC headline that says they went to space for 8 days and could be stuck until 2025.
Wow.
That's a headline.
Very nice.
Oh man.
Well,
and that was back in 7 August. So there you go.
Oh, really?
See,
wow.
5 June is when they took off.
5 June.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there for quite a while.
Yep.
I hope they're using them exercise bikes or whatever they got up there.
Yeah, if they well, they're a couple of them are Navy veterans, so they're used to going out on a 3-month deployment and staying for 12. Yeah,
that's a good point. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it makes you wonder, though. I mean, how is it taxing the resources of the space station, though? Because they weren't anticipating to have 2 people up there that long. So, I mean, is everybody having to ration food now? Do they have extra food up there? I mean, where are they sleeping? Are there extra bunks? I mean, or extra sleeping bags, I guess, tied to the wall? I mean, it's plus you fit 2 more people in that tiny space. Now they're bumping into each other and shit.
I bet they're ordering DoorDash.
Yeah, they are. You know who's delivering it?
Marvin
SpaceX.
SpaceX.
SpaceX has been delivering to the space station for months now.
Yeah.
They have.
Yep.
They got it.
Yeah, they had just enough bottled water for who was there. Now they're like, hey, you guys got to drink pee. That's all. I don't know what to tell you.
You're drinking our urine. Sorry, pal. Yeah.
I'm sure they have like a recycler
that.
or something, that recycles.
Well, that's what they drink. Yeah, it purifies the urine.
Dude, that's gross.
Yeah.
Does it really?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I knew that they wore a diaper or something when they're spacesuits, right? Because they're out there when they're doing their spacewalks. They're out there. Yeah. When I say that, I say air quotes because they're underwater and swimming around and stuff. But they have to wear their diapers because they're out there so long. There's no place to go. Am I just making shit up? I am. It's okay.
Well, if there was a Marine on that damn thing, they'd be out there trying to figure out how to pee in space. They'd be trying to write their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name would be circling the earth at how many miles per hour? My name, it's there forever.
They'll be drawing the male anatomy in space so we could see it from Earth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That holds water for sure.
Now that would be something Musk would do. He would do that just as a joke, just to say that he could, just because he could do it. So he'd be like, "Hey, watch this."
Sometimes that's why I think that they decide not to put Marines in charge of things. Just because there's going to be a penis drone somewhere.
I call the Amazon thing the blue swoosh. I call it the blue wanker. That's why I called it the wanker rocket. I said the wanker rocket's just doing tours. It doesn't have the speed or the engineering to get there.
Oh man,
I like it. All right, let's go to good news stories with Mike.
Caught me there. Sorry. I went off into space there. I was like, wanker rocket. I could picture it. So I don't know.
Just as long as you don't get stuck there until February.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long time to be up there wanker rocketing,
You guys will not be able to look at the Amazon trucks anymore without thinking of me.
That is
right?
a true statement. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to find one when the back end's dirty and write on it, wanker rocket.
So there's a hub down the road from my house. So every time I drive by it now, I'm going to say there's the Winker warehouse.
Nice.
Thanks, Krista.
Now instead of doo-doo, it's going to be wanker. It's going to be wanker on everything.
Now it's proven you can't say things like that to Marines, and we'll run with it.
I actually say something else, but we're on a podcast, so I'm trying to be polite.
I'm gonna make a shirt and put it on the website in honor of Krista for the wanker rocket.
Hey, we got the green weenie, so I mean, you might as well have the wanker rocket.
That's true. Yeah, that is a true statement.
All right, is everybody ready for some uplifting, positive news?
Definitely.
I don't know that I got any.
I am definitely ready for some uplifting, positive news because you scolded me last time because I couldn't take you serious. I am serious right now.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, have some more moonshine, Andrew.
You know what? I can't take you anymore.
Anyways, well, you may know, I'm not sure where this is at, Krista, in Georgia. Franklin County. Is that North Georgia? All right. So this is an article from August 21st. A stray pup chases a doggy daycare bus and gets adopted.
Nice.
Said a determined lab has found a new home in Georgia after galloping alongside a doggy daycare bus until he won over the driver and found a new home. In Franklin County, the story begins when a driver of the pup bus, was doing his rounds and picking up clients to take to doggy daycare. Coming into a house he knew well, elaborate.
Is that a real thing? Are you like you're making
No.
something up right now?
No, there's actual buses that are set with. They pick up dogs and take them to like doggy daycare. They have seat belts and everything. Yeah, I'll look it up.
No,
don't have it in this area, but I know it's real. I know it's out like where my son lives out in Bellingham, Washington. There's a little short bus that drives around. It's like
it would be a
pups,
short bus.
It says like Pups Are Us or something like that, or I think is what it's called. Pups Are Us, yeah. But they stop and pick up dogs, and they get in and they get used to it. And they just sit there waiting.
I do not believe this for a second. I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
Yeah, quick Google search will return a bunch of photos of some well-behaved pups riding on a bus. So
yeah, I don't appreciate how you're just making fun of my topic, Andrew.
I'm not making fun of your topic. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are.
It sounds
very. Don't
suspicious.
tell me how to. Don't you tell me how to feel? Okay. Don't you tell me how to feel.
I apologize. I should never have told you how to feel.
You're making fun of the pup bus, you asshole.
You did call it the short bus while ago. I'm just saying.
Andrew just
okay. Can I get back to my story?
Doggy bus.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
He's mad. Why, Vic?
Because the doggy buses have awnings.
Oh, they probably do.
You know what? If I knew how to shut you off right now, I'd totally shut you off. But I don't know how to do that.
They don't have to get the poop scooter out and drain out the tanks and take it across town and dump it and do all that too. So anyways, this guy was picking up a dog at a house when he noticed another dog sitting next to this other dog. The dog he was picking up was a 3-year-old Labrador retriever named Motley. He contacted the owners and said, "Hey, when did you get another dog?" And they said, "We didn't." They said, we've seen that dog in the neighborhood. It's been here a couple of weeks and the neighbors are feeding it, but we don't know whose it is. Well, he let Motley on the bus, but the other lab tried to get on too, and he couldn't let it on. So as he shut the door and he felt bad about doing it, and he took off going down the road. And there's a video, and I can send it to you guys. This poor dog's just chasing him down the road. Just chasing and chasing and chasing. So he's got video that he sent to his wife, or his wife took it. Maybe she was on the bus too, and posted it online. Well, at the end of the day, they found an owner for the pup, and now he gets to ride the pup bus every day.
That's I don't even know what to say.
It said to see a dog so desperate to catch a ride was very heartbreaking. I thought, I've got to reach out and see if anybody has a home for this dog. If not, I want him. And this woman adopted a dog.
I mean, there should be a movie about
the pup bus.
The pup bus. Only thing I could think of is my kids watch the oh man, I'm gonna have to ask them. There's a stupid cartoon that they would watch, and it's got all these super dogs that go around, or super pets that go around and do things. Anyways, I can't remember what it's called. Paw Patrol. That's it.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah. That's what I think of when you talk about that. So I'm imagining, Rubble. He was the bulldog on there. I imagine Rubble sitting on the bus doing his little whine and bark cry type of thing, to the bus driver, like, "Oh, come on, let him on, man." I can see it. It's a movie. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm amazed that that's even a thing.
People do it. People send their dogs to doggy daycare every day.
I'll get a fenced-in yard, and you can
first
bring
time
them
I
over
saw
all
a
you
bus
want.
for dogs. They're literally loading dogs on there, and they got little seat belts for them. They wear a harness, and they got little tethers that straps to them and holds them in the seat.
Yeah.
And all the dogs are just sitting in it, just waiting because they're so excited and they do it so much that they look forward to it every day. And they get to go and play. And
what happens when you're the new dog and you're having to go on the bus? You know, it's kind of like the first time. Everybody remembers. Everybody remembers your first time going on the bus.
Yeah, the
right?
new dog gets on there, and everybody's like, "Seats taken, seats taken."
Yeah, poor guy, poor fella.
Yeah, see here.
All sniffing him, saying hello. Hey, bud, what's up? Hey, bud, what's up?
Seats taken.
That's how they say hi, right?
Seats taken.
Here if you want.
Do you think that he grows up to run across America, grows a big, long doggy beard? I think it could happen.
It says shit happens sometimes.
Shit happens. What? Shit? Yeah, sometimes.
Have y'all ever seen the doggy daycare that's in Australia, and the guy that has like the 40 or 50 acres? This Australian guy. They had him, but he has kennels in his. He has a big bus and has kennels. Yeah, Australian guy. Yeah.
Well, he has a bus too, though.
Yeah,
he goes around.
There's several places around, and there's a girl in Alaska that has a bus, and she does doggy daycare. Yeah, lots of people do it. Wealthy people do it who aren't riding the rockets into space. They send their dogs to daycare. Yeah.
Noted. Yeah, that's a logical step. Oh, I got to ride the rocket. Let me put the dog in daycare. It's a logical stepping stone.
I guess so.
Wish I had that kind of money, you know? Jeez. Wow, I'm sorry, Mike. We're just so enthusiastic about your story. It was amazing.
I don't know if I'd put my dogs on that bus. My dogs act like some crackheads every time other dogs get around.
That's true.
They don't attack. They just want to play.
Yeah.
And don't listen.
Yeah. Yeah, my dogs got away from my daughter the other day. She took them for a walk. Actually, I think it might have been this morning or yesterday morning. She's like, "Oh, take them for a walk." She goes outside and they take off running, and of course, jerk the leash out of her hand because they wanted to go see another dog. And then she comes in, the dogs got loose. They're with another dog. And I'm like, oh, God. I had to get dressed and run outside. I'm like, Luckily, we didn't get kicked out of the KOA. That's why my dogs don't ride the school bus or the doggy bus.
They just have short bus. Your dogs don't ride the short bus.
They probably should ride the short bus. They're not.
They just haven't found the one with an awning yet. That's all it is.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what I was just going to say.
You know what?
Okay. They're like, hey, do you guys have an awning over here? Do you have an awning? Do you have an awning?
Let me smell. I think you have an awning over here.
Yeah, they're running from RV to RV.
There's got to be somebody smarter than my dad. You know, what's going on over here?
Man, I'm glad this topic is just taking on a whole mind of its own here right now.
I hope all our new viewers enjoy this topic.
I try to give a positive story about a dog that just wanted to get on the bus. Man.
It was a very uplifting story, Mike. I appreciate you sharing that story with us. It definitely gave me a positive way to look at things moving forward. So thank you.
I tell you what it did for me. It made me think that some dogs really are smarter than humans.
I think so.
Yeah. You drank that straight. That's pretty motivating right there, you know. Thank you.
Well, I think that's about all the positivity I can give for tonight. Since it's next
That's
story I was
much
going to do,
positive.
I hate to even hear what the hell you're going to make fun about it, so I won't even do that one. Delete, delete, delete. There we go.
Probably what Vic's thinking right now. Delete, delete, delete.
Trying to
Oh, Lord
decide.
help us.
I'm looking over my list of quotes for the end of the night.
Good man. Good man.
After history.
As you say that, everybody else is like, "Oh, whoa, yeah." Start looking. Let me double check. Let's see if I can beat Mark this week. All right. Military history with Krista.
I'm glad y'all had a good week. It's good. It's good. Levity and sarcasm will get you everywhere.
We're not doing words of wisdom yet. Slow down.
Not. that's just my motto for life. All right. We're gonna change this up a little bit. I took some constructive criticism. All right, we're gonna start. Now I have some things pulled up about these questions. Please ask. In the year 580, it wasn't the official, but this is where history goes. In the year 580, the Chinese invent toilet paper.
What?
Yes. But this isn't
You said,
I
hold
didn't
on. 580.
580. 580.
Oh,
580.
okay.
580.
Okay.
And I didn't do too well on the topic of military history. I think I only got one military history, so I apologize.
That's
I didn't
okay.
follow.
Toilet paper is important.
The assignment according to instructions. So 580, the Chinese invents toilet paper.
Was that the Chinese? You said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Was COVID around then too? I mean, the Kung Fu virus, whatever. I mean, they were worried about it then.
Before that, everybody walked around with a shit-smelling hand.
What is it, the right hand or left hand? I can't remember.
This is an early of 589. It's just
It's the right hand. You don't want to shake the right hand, right? No, I'm sorry, the left hand. Left hand. You don't want to shake the left hand. Don't want to touch the left hand. L for loser. L for poop hand.
No comment.
Did I ever tell you guys how to you remember the crisis that we had recently about the COVID and the poop paper? We didn't have enough of it, right?
Stop.
And
stop.
Did I tell you guys how to
stop?
He's telling you to stop. Can we mute him?
Stop. Stop. Let her finish.
Okay.
You need to know this. This is important. We'll do it later.
In the year 1682, English astronomer Edmund Halley first observes the comet that is named after him, Halley's Comet. 1682.
Nice.
Yeah, Edmund Halley. Yep. Got that. Okay. 1895. This one I'm going to just tell a tiny bit about. Okay. Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse built the first hydroelectric power plant in 1895 at Niagara Falls. And you guys, if y'all are familiar with this, Edison had installed something. He had installed the direct alternating current or the direct current at Niagara Falls. And then the deal with that is Tesla and Westinghouse went in 1895 and they took it out and put in the alternating current instead of the direct current. And the reason that's so significant, it's not military history, but that basically changed. That's what we do today. That's what's in our homes today. That's what's worldwide, which is, like from the transformer at the street to your power box in your house to your, light switch in your house. So alternating current. And that changed the way that things were done. And we all learn about Edison and the light bulb in school, but we never learned about what Westinghouse and Tesla had done. But that was done in Niagara Falls in 1895. And this is on August 26th, by the way. That's today's date in history. But that's just how
everybody always talks. Everybody talks bad about Tesla, and I mean, he's done some good stuff.
And Tesla and Edison were friends, but Edison stole. It's rumored, I wasn't there, but it's rumored that Edison. It's rumored that Edison stole a lot of Tesla's ideas. That was some issues. And
he went out of his way to bash Tesla on a lot of things. I've watched a lot of different things on that Reddit, and even when Tesla died, he was renting. It was in New York City, I think, but he had built a whole lab and compound. Right. Where he had developed a lot of things but all of his patents and everything he had ever designed, or all the blueprints and drawings. The day he died, his apartment, I think he was in New York City, was raided, and every single thing was taken.
Wow!
What?
And they still have no idea. It's obviously, they said it was the government, but a lot of it was Edison. They thought, because Edison did everything he could. Because he had already sold the fact that direct current was the way to go.
Right,
exactly. Tesla said, no, direct current's too dangerous. Alternating current is the best option. Well, Edison even went so far as to take an elephant and electrocuted it with alternating current to prove that alternating current was dangerous. And he did it out so everybody could see it.
Interesting.
But he didn't.
And that's why that's why the thing at Niagara Falls, and using the hydraulics with the water at Niagara Falls was such a big deal. That was the beginning of showing the world this is the way. So seriously. But
very nice.
It's a big deal.
I don't mean to cut you off, Kristen. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad. This is what we're supposed to do. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, because you probably know more about it. I had to research it a little bit and then find out about it.
Well, I don't necessarily know more about it. I've read a couple things, but Tesla had even developed. He had a theory, and he actually proved it, that electricity could be transmitted through the ground. And his plan was for free electricity for the country. And he had already he already had the infrastructure and everything planned on how to do it. But he was able to build towers where he could generate electricity, and it would actually transmit through the ground up to 20 miles to the next. It was almost like when they compared it to like cell towers in today's world, where it would transmit through the ground safely. And communities could tap into that, and it was free power at that point. I mean, and that was the big thing that with Edison and, at the time it was all the, I don't know if you ever watched those on a History Channel, those that built America. You've got Carnegie and you've got, Edison and stuff like that. And they all stood to lose a lot of money. With stuff like that, and that's why they all turned against him, and even though they knew what he was doing was right, but they're like, well, we can't stand for this, so you're going to take down who's going to take from your pockets.
They didn't want it. The hydraulic power. But that was a really big one of our top 5. And then oh, did you send us something, Aaron? Oh, smart.
I was just asking if we lost Mark.
I need to go back to my book. Then the next one. So anybody have anything else on that one?
No, I'm good.
Okay. The only military one I have for today is in 1944, French General Leclerc, 2nd Armored Division and Charles de Gaulle paraded down the Champs-Élysées in Paris after the liberation of the city from the Nazi occupation after 4 years. Paris was finally liberated from the Nazis. They had been occupied for 4 years, the Nazi army. And then the last one, last but not least, this is kind of important to me, even though it didn't really come to fruition a lot. It's in 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, and it was the passage of the women's suffrage movement. Yay. I'll give you a little bit of history about it, not too much. I keep it short and sweet. The 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified on August 26th. Actually, now when I started doing a little more research, it was actually ratified. It was adopted. I think it was ratified on August 18th. Basically, it prohibited the United States and its states from denying the right to vote to citizens of the United States on the basis of sex, in effect recognizing the right of women to vote. It was the culmination of decades-long movement for women's suffrage in the United States. The word suffrage actually just means the right to vote. That's all it means. That's what the word actually means. The first women's suffrage amendment was introduced in Congress in 1878. However, a suffrage amendment did not pass the House of Representatives until May 21st, 1919, which was quickly followed by the Senate. On June 4th, 1919, it was then submitted to the states for ratification. Now, it took 15 months for all the states to ratify it.
Wow.
You have to have 36 states to ratify it. Each state has to ratify it individually before it can become a constitutional amendment to the United States Constitution.
Oh, wow.
The 19th Amendment's adoption was certified on August 26, 1920. Several states, including Louisiana and Maryland, encouraged other states to vote against it. 2 states voted against it. My 2 states that I was born in and grew up in, which were Alabama and Georgia, they voted against it. Tennessee was the swing state vote, as on August 18th, state representative in Tennessee, a gentleman named Harry T. Byrne, he was 24 years old, cast the deciding vote in Tennessee after reading a letter from his mother.
Oh, she scolded him.
I don't know what she did. She convinced
I'm
him.
sure.
Yeah, Tennessee was the swing state, per se, as you want to call it.
Huh.
Before 1776, now this was interesting. I didn't know this when doing a little research about it. Before 1776, women had the vote in several of the colonies in the United States. But by 1807, every state constitution had denied women even limited suffrage. Organizations supporting women's rights became more active in the mid-19th century, and in 1848, the Seneca Falls Convention adopted the Declaration of Sentiments, which called for equality between the sexes and included a resolution urging women to secure the vote. That Seneca Falls Convention is where women had gathered to try to, get the vote. And that was the Convention of All Women. Pro-suffrage organizations used a variety of tactics, including legal arguments that relied on existing amendments. They were also struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court. They were saying that women did not need the right to vote. Of course, I think a lot of you have heard of Susan Brownell Anthony. Her face is on the U.S. golden $1 coin, gold coin, so dollar coin. And of course, Elizabeth Cady Stanton. They called for the amendment guaranteeing women the same right to vote possessed by men. In 1878, a suffrage proposal would eventually become the 19th Amendment that was introduced in Congress, but was rejected in 1887. The president at the time was Woodrow Wilson. Lucy Burns and Alice Paul were the 2 women who actually co-authored the amendment. And there were several other countries that were going through it at the same time. England, they actually got the right to vote several years before the women of the United States did.
No kidding. Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I think it was, ours was 1920. Theirs was like 1918. Best I can remember. So, trying to think. It enfranchised about 26 million American women in time for the 1920 U.S. presidential election, but the powerful women's voting bloc that many politicians feared failed to fully materialize until decades later. The 19th Amendment failed to fully enfranchise African American women, Asian American women, Hispanic women, and Native American women because there were limitations. They still, even though it gave us the right to vote, they still found reasons at the voting booths to not allow women in. If you didn't have your husband with you, or if you weren't a property owner, there were still caveats that they put in place so that women couldn't vote.
Was that by state?
Yes, because the state still didn't allow things to happen. Even though it was a federal constitutional amendment, they still had states' rights and things that were in place. They didn't,
right,
for various reasons. And what it actually says, it says the rights of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So now I want to tell you one other thing that happened too, right after that. And I'm trying to think, what year did that actually happen? I think it was 1923. The same woman, a woman named Alice Paul, who was a co-author of this amendment, they began work on something called the Equal Rights Amendment. Now, this was in 1923. It's 2024 right now. That amendment was started and it has not been passed as of today. It's almost 100 years old. That's correct. And that's a topic for another time. But if you guys want to look it up, and it's to they believe it's necessary. It's an additional step toward equality that no one in the United States can be barred from voting based on their sex. And it was just to equalize anyone, male or female could be barred from voting. And I thought about sending it to Aaron because it has gone through several presidents. It started, they originally got pretty quick. The first, say 30, I think, states ratify it. And then it went through Nixon, Ford, and Carter. And then Carter had an extension put on it in the 70s and in 1982. And it still has not been ratified. It has been approved through Congress, but we're still a few states short ratifying that as of today. And that amendment's been going on for almost 100 years. So that's something to talk about another day, y'all.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
The only people that I think should not have the right to vote, and there's only a couple, but anybody that makes fun of me for my awning, I think should not have the right to vote at any point in time for any reason.
At that point, you wouldn't have anybody in America voting.
Well, I'd get my way then.
Well, I was just saying earlier that we were looking for a place to dump our awning because we thought it was broken when it rained today. And our awning, we thought it was.
Yeah. I wouldn't know about that. I couldn't tell you.
I know a guy.
Never had to deal with the rain in my awning before. So, Yep.
You didn't even get to experience that, did you?
That
must suck.
Hey, but when you had it, didn't you like it though?
No, I hated it. It was the dumbest invention ever. Why put
Well, Krista, when you're ready to take your awning off, I know a guy.
It may take him a couple of hours, but he knows.
Got a little Mickey Mouse tool set. He'll come to your house and take it off.
Yeah. That's right. You know what? I don't like you guys anymore.
So I was actually going to comment on the Susan B's, right? When I was a kid, my grandfather used to get all of us grandkids Susan B's for B's, Christmas and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm the idiot that spent them. So I don't think I have any more Susan B's, but I'm looking on eBay right now. There's some, I guess it's the mint marks that determine how much they're worth. There's some going for $2,500 on eBay.
Really?
Get out of here! Are you serious?
Yeah.
How much are $2 bills going for?
Poshmark. There's one on Poshmark. It's a Susan B. SBA 1979 Liberty $1 PFG. So Frank Gasparro, I guess one of the original artists of the coin, $15,000.
Whoa! I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, man.
I've got to
Holy
find it.
cow.
It's in a box that when I packed up my parents' house, but my dad had, the old like Maxwell House glass,
Yeah.
instant coffee things. It's full of Susan B. Anthony coins in it. He
What?
collected coins, and I mean, yeah, he's got several jars. I've got them packed in boxes. I got to find them now that we're talking about it. Not that I would sell them or do anything, but
You should if it's worth that much money.
mm,
You
I'm
could
just saying,
retire.
you can keep one or two.
With an awning.
Yeah. You could have an awning on your RV.
yeah. And my wife and I were talking about that last night, the night before, when she was laying in the bed like, I'm dying, and I was like, you know what we need to do? Just quit working. We need to go get an RV. And I didn't say this. She said it. And I think it was, where the state she was in with COVID and all that. She goes,
It could be.
well, at least ours will have an awning. I was like, you're absolutely right.
You're not allowed on this podcast anymore. It's official. When your wife is making fun of my awning, it's bad to go. I'm just saying. You know what? It's time for words of wisdom. Let's just do words of wisdom. I don't even know how to handle myself right now.
Hey, you're making fun of my doggy daycare bus thing.
I
so
never.
you can-
I
well,
did not make fun of. I was just impressed that happened. If only you all knew what he was saying. I know because I've had that chewing out before. So it was a definite knife hand for sure. All right, words of wisdom. Let's go around and see who's got something that might beat Mark this week. All right, Vic, what do you got?
Be polite, be on time, and work really fucking hard until you're talented enough to be blunt, a little late, and take vacations, and then still be polite.
Huh.
Ashton Kutcher.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, give us that review on that cigar. How was it?
I like Tatuaje Haze a lot. They're a nice medium body cigar. You got a little hint of cedar in it, and the retrohale even has almost like a little hint of chocolate in it. I really like them. They can be a little bit spicy though. I think they struggle in consistency a little bit. Some are a little bit more spicy than others. This one wasn't bad though.
All right, very nice. Thanks. All right, Aaron, what do you got?
All right. I'm going to go with the aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Aristotle.
That was good. Taking it back. I like it. Yeah, that was good. I think I'm going to skip Mike just because he was being mean to me a second ago. Krista, what do you got?
I have Aristotle also.
Get out of town. Are you serious?
Since we were heading back to the Chinese and the toilet paper era, we give up leisure in order that we may have leisure, just as we go to war in order that we may have peace. Aristotle, 384.
Huh. Wow. Great minds. That's good. All right, Mike. I've
mine
got
is
a
from the
straight face.
great. Go ahead. Go. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I have a straight face and I am ready to receive what you have.
Get all your giggles out of the way. Mine is from the great Charlton Heston. Political correctness is tyranny with manners.
Ooh, good old Charlton Heston. I like that. That was really good. Dang.
But
Mark,
I do have another one. I do have another one.
Oh, you got
Let
another?
me try this one out too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. Albert Einstein. Just look at Andrew's awning.
Oh my God.
Einstein was actually foreseeing that awning.
He did. It says it right here. I was like, holy crap.
I used to think about, I like that guy, but now, no, not so much. Now I know what he was talking about, and I don't appreciate it. I just
all you had in your mind that day when you were pulling out was Smokey and the Bandit. You're like, eastbound and down. What the hell was
that? Mark, please help us. Please tell me
Okay.
something better than my awning.
Okay, I don't know who said it, but sticking to the knowledge part, when you have the opportunity to drink from the fountain of knowledge, don't just gargle.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
That's right. Sip that shit.
They savor it. That's like a good glass of bourbon, baby. Wow, that was good. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for joining me again. And obviously, just like every episode, making fun of me. I do appreciate it. It makes me feel good about myself. To anybody out there, if you're struggling, need some help, anything like that, please reach out for help. The VA does have some great resources. You can dial 988, press option 1. You can also text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net. Click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to be able to put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. The crew cares about you. The entire veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, you're doing great, make sure you reach out to the buddies that you serve with. Ask them how they're doing. And if they need a helping hand, give them that helping hand and push them in the right direction. All right. With that, Mark, did you by chance find out about your new project or the new company you're working for? If they have any telephone numbers or anything like that? Did you find anything out on that?
I did not.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case. But
woundedwarriorproject.org.
Got it. woundedwarriorproject.org. So make sure you go check that out as well. All right. With that, thanks again. I appreciate you guys. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.